about entrepreneurship is you're going to always get failure.
To make sure that product satisfies the need of your potential customers.
Yes! Go girl! Woo! Welcome back to the show. Our corporate game changer for today is someone I respect a whole lot because he's been able to do awesome things in the corporate space and also in the business space. He started off his career in firms like Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, and KPMG. But right after that, he went on to be co-founder of Jumia. And right now, he's currently has a baby that is trending and doing amazing stuff. Supermart.ng, Nigeria's leading grocery online store. And I think I would describe him as a startup junkie, honestly, because he just starts things up and they just, they blow. Welcome with me today, Gbolahan Fagbure. Hi.
Pleasure to be here.
How are you doing?
Very well, very well.
Yeah, an icon. This is just starting businesses in Nigeria and tech, technology-based businesses, and you're actually making money off it. I think that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think, working in places like Goldman Sachs, KPMG, and all of these places, amazing experience. I mean, I started off as PricewaterhouseCoopers as well. I know what it's like, to be in these places. Do you think it has in any way informed or affected the kind of business person you are today?
Certainly. I think working in those world-class firms gives a strong foundation in terms of work ethic, knowing how to approach situations, dealing with difficulties. So I think without that background, it would probably have been more difficult in running the companies I've run in the last few years. So of course, I give all credit to those companies and the people who I worked with at those firms while I was there. Very
true, very true. I know that for each of these firms, I noticed you didn't stay for more than 3 years in any of these companies, and then you dive into, the world of startups. Why?
It wasn't necessarily not wanting to stay for too long. It's a question of, as a Credit Suisse, I felt I got a better opportunity at Goldman Sachs. I moved there, and by the time I left, I was keen to leave to come back to Nigeria. I think almost every year I was in the UK. I kept saying I would come back this year, and it was always next year, and eventually
that happens a lot to people.
Eventually, I just said, look, I'm off
without having a job here.
No, I'd made some arrangements to interview with some firms, so I knew that there was a high chance of getting a job here.
But I think that was really bold of you, though, because I know most people never want to come, without having like an employment letter. I think that was really bold. You just say, you know what, I'm going to quit this job in the UK and come back and sort things out. Kudos.
Thank you.
Well done. You started so many companies. Of course, the most renowned, I think, is Jumia. And there's Road Repair Company. There's a Voice
Africa Speaker.
I'm so sorry. You've done too much. There's now so many. Have all of this been successful? Have there been any that doesn't exist anymore? Is there any?
So Road Repair Company that's been closed down. So I did that for about 2 years before they now starting at Jumia.
I'm asking this so that someone out there knows that. It's not that some people are special and then everything they touch turns to gold.
Indeed.
For every one business you see, I don't know, you could disagree with me, for every one business you see that succeeds, I think there's usually about 5 ideas or even businesses that didn't succeed, right? What do you think?
I think that's the thing with ideas. You get so many ideas, and in a place like Nigeria, when you see so many things that can be improved, you'll get so many ideas. Now the question is, do you wait back and say, look, I need 100 million naira to start the business, or do you just say, look, there's an opportunity here, I'll start something, see how it goes. If it's incredibly successful, I'll continue doing it. If I think that the market is not quite right for this business, then I can stop it and then move on. So I think when you have ideas in a place like Nigeria, you will always be spurred on to try them. So you shouldn't have the fear of sitting back or saying, I need 100 million naira before I can start this business. So get the idea, start it small, test it out. If it's making progress, you're seeing traction, then continue it. And if you think that it's not quite right for its time, then by all means you can suspend it. One day it may still be a viable opportunity, but if it's not quite right now, you can suspend it.
You make it sound too easy. Is it easy that you have started a company, you spend like how many years, money, everything? Doesn't that leave any hurt or pain or anything?
So I think many of the businesses I have started, if you look at them, many of them did not quite require a huge investment at the start. So road repair company, we didn't invest in any machinery. We had a partnership with a company that was making a cold asphalt solution. So once we had orders, we just placed our orders with them and they supplied and they did the construction.
You limited your exposure?
Yes,
with that?
so there wasn't much financial exposure in that business. It was a question of finding the contacts, going to governments, going to residential estates and trying to find people who had potholes on their streets. So even with speaker agency, we had several speakers lined up. We went to companies and tried to book them for engagements. When we got business, we booked them and we made a commission. So if we didn't book any speakers, there was really no loss in terms of a huge investment upfront.
Speaking of funding, so do you advise people to start off a business with other people's money, or what's your own personal advice? Do you say, okay, try to save up, or use someone else's?
I think it would vary. So I think even if you have external funding, you still have to have some reserve in your tank. So in case there isn't enough income to cover your salaries and salaries of other people in the company in the initial few months or years, at least you can dip into your savings. And even if you need to put your own funds in the business, there's also the possibility that you can deploy that. So yes, you can find external funding, but always have your own reserve.
I like how you make everything sound too easy, because when you tell me that it's okay to get money from other people to start a business that I don't even know how it's going to pan out, for me, like, I won't sleep at night. I know myself, because I'm thinking, this is this person's money. At the end of the month, he's going to ask for reports. What would you tell someone like me that doesn't want to have nightmares of someone coming to knock at his door at the end of the month for,
So at Supermart, we have external investors.
Okay.
We send them quarterly reports every quarter consistently for the last 3 years.
You started off with external investors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm talking to the right person.
So for us, as long as we're sure that we are treating their money like it's ours, and we're very, very shrewd in how we spend the money.
Okay.
So there's no reason to have sleepless nights. So instead, the focus is now on how do we build the business.
How are you handling the money? You co-founded Jumia. You recently also co-founded Supermart-ng. You obviously know something about technology-based businesses. What are, say, maybe the 3 or 4 cardinal, do's, what are maybe about 3 things you would tell every tech business, technology-based business in Nigeria to ensure that, they do, or they make sure they tick to thrive in Nigeria?
I think the first one is focus on your product. So if you are doing a technology business, make sure that product satisfies the need of your potential customers. And that product can be everything from what does the website look like, how is it easy to navigate, how is it easy to pay, how often do you get payment failures, if you're a delivery business like we are, how smooth is that delivery, if you handle inventory like we do, how often do you have product stockouts. So just look at the end-to-end of your products. I think second thing is always constantly be asking your customer, how can we do better? What is it that we're doing that you think we can improve on? I think if you don't get that regular feedback, you find that you're doing something that you think the customer wants, and then you find that the customer wants something completely different. So always keep the customer in the loop, and try and get a broad range of feedback.
Fantastic. Well, you have definitely taught me a lot. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been amazing chatting with you. But you're not leaving yet. When we return, Gbolahan will be going head-to-head with Bilikiss. There's going to be a game, and I cannot wait to see who will be winning. Will it be the guys, or the girls, or the techies, or the entrepreneurs? When we return, we'll see. See you in a bit. Welcome back to the show, and yes, it's game time. It's Bilikiss against Gbolahan, and I cannot wait to see who is going to come out tops. It's the entrepreneurs against the... Okay, they're actually both entrepreneurs, actually. So I'll say it's the women against the men. Yes, game time, guys. So do you want the song game or the word game?
Anything, bring it on.
Song game, word game?
Word game.
Okay, good enough. So this is how it goes. Related words. So whoever is going to start would say a word, and you have to say a related word, and you have to say a related word to the word he says, and you have to say till someone stutters or has nothing to say. Do you get it? Okay. All right. I'll give you 2 seconds just to breathe in, breathe out. Yes. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. Bilikiss.
Okay, say word. Okay, robust.
Fat.
Big.
Large.
Huge.
Gigantic.
Massive.
Enormous.
Great.
You win.
Bilikiss is the winner! Yes! Go girls! Go girls! Oh yeah, that was awesome. What happened now? Go on.
I went easy on her.
That's what you always say. That's why
you guys do that?
Let me enjoy my victory. Please.
Don't be a bad loser.
Please.
Lose with grace. Now say I lost.
You lost.
I went easy on her.
It's been amazing chatting with you both. We've learned so much. We're inspired. We're pumped. Keep changing the game, please. And I know very soon I'll have to interview both of you again because there'll be, so many other, bigger things you'll be doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll be seeing you guys soon, I'm sure. So it's been an amazing show. Loads of wisdom, inspiration, fun, and, all that and more. So till we see you next time, thank you for watching, but don't stop changing the game and being the best in whatever space you find yourself. Bye.